A marketplace for shoplifted goods, a high concentration of drug dealers, and a general tolerance of open-air drug use have placed McArthur Park at the epicenter of LA's fentanyl epidemic. LA Daily News reporter Clara Harter visited the park many times recently, talking to people who are there. She's joining us now with your investigation. Clara, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You know, besides this park, I was recently at an event that talked about fentanyl addiction, and it really does hit many different socioeconomic areas here in Los Angeles. Just how big of a problem is the fentanyl crisis here?
It's a huge problem. I mean, we're talking about a drug that is 50 times as potent as heroin by weight, and its high lasts about half as long. So people who are addicted may need to use the drugs 8 to 10 times a day to stave off withdrawals, the pain of which has been compared to a really hard childbirth. So we're talking about an incredibly potent, incredibly addictive drug that can be lethal in really small substances. Even as small as 1 grain of sand can kill someone.
That's what I learned at this event, and so I now carry Narcan with me just to have on me, which I never in a million years thought that I would have to do, but it is such a problem at this point in time. Your investigation also revealed how a marketplace for shoplifted goods is actually funding many people's addiction. Tell us about this.
Yeah. Well, when you need to use a drug so many times a day in order to get well, is what people say, you need to have a constant supply. It is always on people's mind. And a lot of people who are addicted are also experiencing homelessness. And people do make money to purchase the drug by reselling shoplifted goods. And this is a problem particularly in the McArthur Park area, which is where this marketplace really flourishes. And it's also where people can buy the drug easily and use it in the open relatively simply without getting disturbed. And it's fueling quite a crisis for the neighborhood itself and also for the people using this drug on a daily basis. It's quite bad.
Well, it sounds like it's a ripple effect, right? So they're stealing goods from businesses. Businesses are losing money. They're then taking the goods to the marketplace, selling them, and then just continuing on and on and on. So how do you stop that, first of all, because that's an issue in and of itself, but you also talk about, I mean, there's real human suffering here. You know, are there reasons for hope?
I think there definitely are reasons for hope. There's a lot more attention being drawn to this crisis. Councilmember Ulises Hernandez, whose district this encompasses, is trying to bring a mobile overdose prevention team out there, looking at opening a center with services. Right now, there is just a lacuna of resources. There is not a lot there, and while there may be other resources to help people outside of the McArthur Park area, when people need to use a drug that urgently and it's consuming so much of their daily energy, they're not going to get on a bus and go to the DMV and wait in line to get an ID to register for housing. So we really need to be directing a lot more resources directly to people in need. And hopefully that is on the way, but it is not coming a moment too soon. I mean, people are dying. I think it was 142 deaths in just that zip code last year.
How do you get people in other places, not McArthur Park, but other places in Los Angeles to go, I want to be involved in this and I want to help this crisis? Because I think sometimes here in LA, you have people who go, well, this isn't in my neighborhood, or that's just in the homeless population. But I mean, it really can impact many, many different communities. How do you get people to see that we need to stop it there so it doesn't spread out?
Absolutely. I mean, it kind of has already spread out. Fentanyl is found in pretty much any type of street drug you're getting these days. If you're picking up what you think might be a Xanax pill, it's in cocaine, it's in meth. And it really is a crisis that can affect anyone. I mean, you may look at someone experiencing homelessness who's addicted to drugs and think, oh, that'll never be me. But what I've learned by talking to people and hearing their stories, you know, a lot of them are victims of our opioid epidemic. They became addicted through an injury and a prescription, which led to street drugs, which led to this use. So I think when people understand that these people grappling with addiction are not so different from ourselves, our friends, our family, I think that can help, you know, shift that mindset.
Absolutely. Clara Harter, thank you so much for being with us.